You know what time it is. It's your boy, Aquaman. I had to make a quick short video. I came across this YouTube live right now that was absolute fire. Shout out Jen Finity, King Solomon. He had Hugo Philion, who is the CEO of Flare Network. Hear what this man was talking about, and y'all tell me if DeFi is the future or not.
really easy protocol. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of NFT projects as well, but to be honest with you, there's too many for me to track.
Yeah, I hope you don't get into trouble with that, because anytime that we start being like, "What are your favorite projects?" It's like there's so many to, I'm sure, to
I'm
even
sure
like.
I'm sure I've missed a few. I'm sure I missed a few. I mean, of course, we have loads of indexes, but would I call them a project? We have loads of API things. But yeah, it's difficult to be all encompassing. But we're very much focusing on DeFi, because that's where Flare needs to play catch up.
They're very much focused on DeFi. You heard it. You heard it. Let's run that back just slightly.
I'm sure I've missed a few. I'm sure I missed a few. I mean, of course, we have loads of indexes, but would I call them a project? We have loads of API things. But yeah, it's difficult to be all encompassing. But we're very much focusing on DeFi, because that's where Flare needs to play catch up before it can take a lead.
I'm curious from your stance too, because we talked about this a little bit earlier, the importance of education. I know one guy that sticks out to me directly that I know has been putting in work in the Flare ecosystem forever to educate people and show people is Flare Community. So I'll give a shout out to Flare Community. That account has been fantastic for a while. Is there any other accounts like that you would recommend following to like learn a little bit more about how to use some of the primitives and protocols, or obviously the main Flare account, things like that, but where else would you maybe think people might want to check out to
Just check.
Club 28. Club 28. Hundreds of members in here learning and talking DeFi. But go ahead. You let us know, Hugo.
Checking my Twitter, because some of these people have complicated names. Like, I've noticed a few more people sort of pop up recently. So like there's a guy called like Macro Brooks or David Brooks who like puts out seems to be fairly fairly conversant in protocols. Puts out some good stuff. Obviously you've got there's a whole bunch of people. What's his name? Let me just go to my Twitter. Give me a second.
Yeah, I'll look up this guy too if I can find him. I'll share here. Oh yeah, this Davis is this it? Davis Brooks at Macro Brooks.
Yeah, I think like I've noticed his stuff. I mean, I don't know the guy, but he's kind of like really interesting. But yeah, I'd say Squarespace is also a very good one. They're one of the validators and oracles. They have really no, I think that's a fake
No,
one. Flare dot space.
there we
That
go.
one, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they put out great stuff. But there's loads of people, and I forget, and I'm sorry if I missed a
No,
whole bunch of people. But
that's on me to just throw out the hey, what accounts are good out there, and then be like, oh, let's shotgun it in real time. No, but I mean, it is like it's critical to have people that are actually out there in the wild, like that are showing or trying their best to educate people about how to use all the technology aspects that are being built. So that's kind of why I wanted to add it
yeah,
in a little
I
bit.
probably shout out Nebuchadnezzar, Crypto Airy, Moonchaser, Tim Rowley, of course.
Yeah, Ari's great.
And
She's been at it forever, and Moonchaser and Ty is great as well. I know Santiago too, so another project building and
oh
Flare with
yeah, of course,
XDeFi.
XDeFi.
Santiago's awesome
Yeah,
to
yeah,
talk to.
Santiago kills it. Although he hasn't been doing too many exposés on how to use Flare protocol recently, because I think he's heads down building. But yeah, Santiago's great, and his content on Real Vision is very good.
And then I guess I'll kind of ask as we round out here, if you could provide any, any other achievements or milestones that we might have missed within Flare, and maybe just walk us through some closing thoughts, the future of Flare, the industry as a whole. I know that's wrapping a lot into one question, but I would love your insight.
I think milestones, for me this year, the team has been amazing in upgrading the FTSO. That was a much needed upgrade. And I think being able to handle up to 1,000 series up with each item in those series updatable every block is amazing. And that's the team's done really well. But I'd also like to give a shout out to the one of the people that on the team that sort of really put in the legwork to conceptualize it. Ryan Reich, who's one of our engineers. Really appreciate the work he did on that. And then, the FTC is moving forward. So the Flare Data Connector, that's an upgrade from the State Connector, which the State Connector is on Songbird, but it'll be upgraded to something called the FTC, which is moving forward. I'm looking forward to things like where we can relay our data to other chains so that Flare can act as an oracle for other blockchains. That'll be one of the most exciting aspects for me. Of course, the team behind F Assets, has done a very good job. It's very high touch, high lift protocol, meaning that it's a lot of code. There's a lot of moving parts. And then, getting a UI together for that has been good, and the beta test is going well, and onboarding for the beta test is going well. So a lot of milestones. But for me, the next major milestones are attracting assets to Flare from other networks, not just non-smart contract networks via the F assets, but smart contract networks like Ethereum, like Solana, like Polkadot, interoperability between those two, but fundamentally bringing assets from other chains onto Flare to participate in essentially the DeFi ecosystem to build liquidity.
Oh, wow. So to build the DeFi ecosystem, to build liquidity. Because why? Because liquidity is what's going to bring the price up in Flare, baby. Yo, keep preaching, Hugo. Keep preaching.
That's kind of those are the key things I'm focused on.
And those are key things that a CEO is focused on, y'all. Get involved in DeFi. If your crypto assets are not making you passive income, get involved with a club where you can learn DeFi, lean on hundreds of other members who are also learning DeFi, and we are moving and grooving. Oh my God, this is just so powerful. You got the CEO of Flare Network telling you his main focus is DeFi, DeFi, DeFi.
I forgot to ask this, and I'm going to ask you real quick before we let you go, because bringing assets onto Flare, obviously developers and builders are assets. So if you could maybe talk a little bit about grant. I know that you guys do have grant aspects and what that looks like to bring builders into the ecosystem, things like that. As we kind of close out here, that would be fantastic. I've actually, by the way, I should mention on the side here, I hear a lot of stuff from a lot of people, and I know that we look at grant stuff across the board here, and there's a lot of different entities and a lot of different ecosystems that have just kind of done grants in certain ways. I've heard really good stuff behind the scenes about how you guys have been handling it.
And these grants are for developers to build out platforms to build out the DeFi ecosystem. So these developers are depending on a lot of these grants to create these platforms for us to deploy our assets on to earn passive income. I mean, that's what oh man, DeFi, 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 baby.
Grant aspects. So kudos to you guys.
Oh, well, that's good. And then that's a shout out to Gabe and Max on the team who handle grants. And Gabe's our chief investment officer and has been ex TradFi, so he's got a disciplined head on him, which is good. But we have a bespoke grants program, meaning you approach us and put a case forward, fill in a grants application, and the foundation will give you a grant or not. Fundamentally, we're focused on cross-chain DeFi. at the moment. But if you do have something wild that could be huge, we're still interested.
So he just told you they are focused on cross-chain DeFi. All right, people, that's going to do it for today's video. Like I always say, if you're not involved in a club where you can learn DeFi, hit that description below. Link is right there for you. Check out our intro video on the Wealth 28 website. Be sure to tap in with us, and I'll see you on the inside. Much love.